Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of Ask the Nanny. I do apologize for our lateness. We're having some technical issues, technical difficulties, and I'm trying to catch my breath. So, no, I do not have COVID. I just thought about that. I do not have COVID. I was just running through the house, something we always tell our littles not to do. So, I had to run and go get my phone. But today we are talking about the UK Nannies Matter Campaign, and we need your help. We need you to sign the petition. It doesn't matter whether you are in Africa, if you are in Australia, if you are in Switzerland, wherever you are, United States, we need to sign the petition because we are all nanny sisters and we are all in this together. And what affects one of us affects all of us. So, hang on just a second. There we go. And now our technical difficulties are all over. So, uh, so I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves and their positions. And these are the founders and the ambassador. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves while I share this with our groups. All right, Miss Helen, we will start with you.
Hi, I'm Helen McCarthy. I've been a nanny since 1991. I'm a qualified NNEB nanny here in the UK. I work in London. I serve on the board of directors of the International Nanny Association, and I was chosen as their 2016 Nanny of the Year. The four of us came together and decided that something needed doing in the UK, and we formed UK Nanny, which was done a while ago. And now we have the UK Nanny Matters Campaign. And I'm proud to be one of the co-founders.
All right, Miss Ali.
Hello. I'm Ali Bell. I'm a Norland nanny and NNEB qualified. I've been working in childcare for nearly 30 years now. I run a maternity and nanny agency in Southwest London, and I met Helen and Maria when I won Nanny Agency of the Year last year, and got to know Maria and Helen very well. We're very passionate about this campaign that we've set up. I'm one of the co-founders as well, and I'm excited to meet you both.
Maria.
Hi, I'm Maria. I've been in the childcare industry for 15 years. I met Helen at Nanny Recognition Week a few years back, and I think we've been trying to change and raise the industry since then on. I'm also one of the co-founders of the UK Nanny Matters Campaign and have been to the INA conference last year and to try to help out where I can to raise the industry, because as we always like to say, together nannies are stronger.
Yes, we are.
And Miss Shada, Miss Ambassador.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Shada Lambert. I'm also known as Nanny Shada online. I've been a nanny for 14 years. I'm also a parent coach, sleep consultant, and potty training specialist. I am the brand ambassador for this campaign. My reason for wanting to be involved was because I'm very passionate about nannies being regulated. And I happened to see the campaign online on LinkedIn, and I reached out to Maria, who was very kind, and reached out to Helen, and we had a chat. And so, yeah, I'm here now trying to push the movement. It's very, very important that we all stick together, make sure that we get people to sign. And yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, welcome, ladies. Welcome, 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 welcome. We have some viewers. Let's see. Hello, Patience, April and Linda. Thanks for watching. And if you're watching, please share this video with your groups. Please share this video with on your page, to your whoever you need to share to a friend, a nanny friend. Because like I said, we all need to stick together. We all need to band together, because the same thing that's happening in one country can happen here just as easily. We are fighting here in the United States for just some basic standards for nannies. So I can just imagine what it's like all over the rest of the world. We are the backbone. And I learned this through the pandemic. When the kids got out of school, when the pandemic hit, and everybody was like, what am I going to do with my kids? Guess what? The nanny. That's all I can say is the nanny.
Yeah.
Because a lot of nannies went from just being a nanny to being the household manager, the homeschool teacher, the pick up the laundry, do this, do that. And it became, when the world shut down, it was like, what am I going to do with my kids? And parents started relying on us. Well, the kids, what you going to do with them? And we're like, really? So we need all of your support. We need everyone's support, not just the nannies, but if you are a parent that has had a nanny, if you are a parent that's thinking about having a nanny, if you are thinking about having kids, and you're going to need a nanny, we need all of you to sign this petition. Okay? Now, I'm going to let them explain to you what this campaign is about, because I've already signed the petition. So
Thank you.
Yay.
So who wants to take the lead and tell us how
Go on,
this
Helen.
came about?
Before I get voted in.
Over to you.
Thanks, guys. So the campaign, basically we have, and I don't have it in front of me, which is really bad because then I'm going to blag it off. We have a list of aims and a list of scales that we want. We want to introduce a pay scale, not necessarily for the nannies. It's a pay scale so parents will understand, because there's one thing in the industry that gets nannies is like a nanny, anybody can be a nanny. There are no strict laws to say you have to hold a qualification. And you can roll out of bed tomorrow morning and go, I'm going to be a nanny, and go off and find a job. Now, because the platforms have opened up so much, you can get a job over the internet. People don't check. You don't have to have in the UK. You don't have to have insurance. You don't have to have a CRB. You don't have to have a first aid certificate, and you don't have to have a qualification. And to be honest, you don't actually need experience either. So we want to try and change this by having a pay scale and showing parents that if you employ somebody who's newly in the field to somebody who's been in the field 30 years, there is a difference.
Hello. Seriously, because that's me. I don't want to make $12 an hour anymore.
Also, to have a qualification. Now, a lot of people have gone, oh, but I've been a nanny for 20 years and I don't have a qualification in childcare. We're not actually saying that you've got to have a childcare qualification. We want you to have a CPD record, which we find is really important, so that you have gone out and you didn't just roll into being a nanny one day. You actually have gone and sourced other training. So whether you go to International Nanny Training Day, INA Conference, Nanny Palooza, the Great British Nanny Conference, Nanny Jamboree, the Australian Nanny Conference, or any conference in the country that you work in, but we're trying to promote it more in the UK. And we are going to try and discover a platform to have a qualification for nannies breaking in. Childminders in this country are more regulated than a nanny in the country. In fact, nannies are the only people who work in childcare who are not regulated.
This is true. That's the same thing as in the United States, because I know being in a classroom, being a preschool teacher and switching over to nanny, it's a totally different game. But you don't have to have experience. You can be, they will call you the babysitter, they will call you whatever. People don't care as long as you come take their kids off their hands sometimes. And that's a bad thing. And that's why I don't work with families like that. If you just want me to take your kids off your hands, and you want to pay me $5 for 3 kids an hour.
Yeah. And what you find is a lack of respect as well for our profession, which really irritates me, because I am very passionate about what we do. we are not just nannies. We are chefs. We are butlers. We are drivers. We're counselors. We're therapists. We're everything in one. And I think I spent a lot of my 18 years in childcare defending what nannies do. I spent a lot of time explaining what nannies do. And even sometimes I've been even referred to as an overpriced babysitter. And I'm like, do you know what we do? And when it's explained, it's like the silence. It's just that nice bit of silence, like of realization that we actually do quite a lot. And the fact that we're not regulated is just beyond me. Like, so that's why I think it's just so important that everyone signs that petition and make sure you bombard your MPs. You know, on the website, you can go onto the UK Nanny Matters Campaign website, and there is a template there that these guys have kindly provided for you. You know, you can edit it as you wish, but you can send that to your MP. I've done that. I've even got my MP that contacted me back via email, and I'm about to have a meeting with her over the phone in regards to this. So the more we do this, the more numbers, it can make such a big difference, guys. So please sign a petition, get your MP involved, and let's start getting nanny regulated.
Yay! Now, what is the goal? How many signatures are you looking for?
We need
10,000.
10,000. Okay, so I know two of the groups that I'm in calculate to over 10,000 plus. So,
Yep.
And two of the groups that I just shared this to, hint, hint, please sign the petition. It only takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds of your time. Type in your name. You all type faster with your thumbs when you're text messaging your parents, when you're text messaging, when you are typing in a message to vent on in the group, or trying to show that funny picture of your nanny kid in the group. You all can get it done. You have 5 paragraphs gone in about 2 minutes. I know it won't take that long to sign the petition. So, hint, hint, very big hint, hint, sign the petition.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Now,
Please.
where can we find this petition? I know it's all over Facebook because I've seen it in my feeds. So, where can we specifically find this petition so that nobody has an excuse? Those who are watching live, those who are watching on the repeat, those who are watching on YouTube, where is this petition that we can find and we can sign and make sure that nannies are regulated? We need this.
So the petition you can find on www.uknanny.org/nannies-matter. And there will be a link on that page.
Right at the bottom.
Say, you scroll down, there's lots of information about who we all are, because we want to be as transparent as we can of why we've created this campaign and our passions are. You can read up about everyone that's involved, our backgrounds, links to the petition, links, as Charlotte said, to the MP letters. There's also links with the other people we have involved. So we have 2 councillors that are involved that are supporting this campaign already, and like Charlotte said as well, we are in talks with MPs, and all that information is available on the website, so anyone can find out who we are. We're trying to be as transparent as we can be. We've done this to raise the industry, and as we always say, together nannies are stronger.
That's right. Now, one more time. You said
www.uknanny.org/nannies-matter. That should be it.
One of the most important aims that we should just mention here is the safeguarding of children. That is one of our big aims, because if you regulate the industry, it will tie in all of the early sectors together, and you'll have a constant minimum quality that goes through, the children of the future, because of that regulation. And you're making sure that the carers that are out there are who they say they are.
Yeah.
Adequate training and knowledge to be able to raise the children of the future.
Yes, because Shada was talking out my blog that I'm working on. I started it last night, but I fell asleep. My nanny, because I have a blog and I say nannies are this. I have a long list of what these nannies are. But what you don't want is a nanny that has no moral values teaching your child.
Yeah.
What you don't want is someone who will see your child getting ready to do something that's going to hurt them. And because they have told them 5 times before, they just let them do it and they get seriously hurt. There's no intervention, and it gets to a point where, okay, well, I'm just going to let you do it, and you just suffer the consequences. That's not a heartfelt nanny. That's not somebody who is regulated. That's not somebody who needs to be in the nanny field. It is.
Yeah. Or even the nanny watching TV all day.
We don't watch it. Okay, so most of the families that I work with, I have stay-at-home moms or work-from-home moms or work-from-home dads. This pandemic does not bother me because I've been doing this for the last 20 years. At most of the homes that I've had, it's with the exception of date nights, it's been a parent home. And so I've had these conversations. I've had these hard conversations that nannies are finding hard to talk to their families now because they're at home, to say, look, your child is going to have a fit when you walk through this door. And they're going to pass out on the floor and act like they're dying. And it's going to seem like, are they going to tell you, she's hurting me, mommy, I need you. And we haven't touched your child. But the child knows what words would trigger you. The child knows how to push your buttons, and you're home. So I want you because you're mommy, because usually it's the nanny who says one thing, is consistent and means what she says. And even though the child that reluctantly does it, knows that it's for your own good. Now, parents, on the other hand, are more lenient because I don't get to spend a whole lot of time with my child. I don't get to do this. I don't get to do that. And they have a guilt trip going on. And their child knows how to play on that guilt trip. So in comes the parent. The child goes, ding, mommy's here. Oh, let me see how I can get her attention. And they start out, mama, 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 mommy, mommy, mama, mama. And then it escalates. And if they don't pay attention, or they don't give them attention right away, they fall out on the floor. They start screaming, whatever the tactic they use. So you're going to have to be the type of nanny that can deal with that, because the world has changed. And I know a lot of parents who are not going back to the office. They may go in the office one day a week. They're going to be home. So you're going to have to deal with families being home. And if that's not you, if that you don't have it within you, you don't need to be a nanny. You need to find something else. Because and I see why we need regulations. I see why, because like Helen said, she's been nannying for 20-something years. I've been in the childcare field since I was 11. It's over 40 years. I've been a nanny since 2001. So some little whippersnapper coming in saying, I want $25 an hour. And then I come in and I say, I want $25 an hour. I get $25 an hour because I have been there. I have done that. I bought the t-shirt. Now it's a dust rag. So I have been through hard times. I have served served my time. I have been through pretty much every scenario. Now, do you want someone who just babysat last week for the first time? Or do you want someone who has been a nanny, who has kept up with CPR, with first aid, has gone through professional development, has gone through classes, is teaching classes, is doing all that she can to stay ahead of the game on childcare. Do you want someone that's knowledgeable? Do you want little Johnny Boo-Foo? That's all. That's something. What I'm saying. I would think that parents would choose the one who is qualified, the ones who are going to take good care of their precious assets. Because I always say, your children are your most precious assets. Make sure you take very good care of them, because they're going to be the ones that are going to take care of you when you're old.
Yeah.
And I'm getting old. I don't want my babies to take care of me. So, but
sure.
Once we get to this 10,000 mark, then what happens?
Oh,
anybody?
We frozen?
No, our government has to take notice of us.
Okay.
So they have to that, and in order to have a debate in Parliament over it, we need 100,000 signatures.
So the 10,000 allows us to go and take it down in the street effectively and say our voices need to be listened to. All these people that have signed this have signed, and they want to be heard. They want change, and they can have a think about it, have it as a debate where it needs to be. We need a lot more signatures still.
Okay, so let me see. That one has 9,000.
Doing the math.
I'm doing the math on the groups that I'm in, because there are thousands of people in these groups, and I'm doing the math on.
I admin Nannies in London. It's one of the biggest nanny groups in the UK, and it has 16,000 people in there. So if everybody in that group in Nannies in London signed the petition today, we could take it to government tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
And if all of the people in all the groups that I'm in, yes,
we could be there in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. It could be going past the thought process to you got to actually do something. Okay, so we want to get to the point of let's do something. Yeah. So that's why Shada's here and pushing hard. Well, guess what? I'm Shada's fairy god nanny. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna push hard too. So every time you see me on Ask the Nanny, that's what I'm gonna say. Did you sign the petition? Yes. So sign the petition, sign the petition, sign the petition. Okay, I thought I had posted it in the comments, but apparently I didn't. I typed it in on my computer, but apparently I didn't. So one of you who is watching, somebody who's watching, can you please type in www?
You have. You've put it in the live comments.
Is it in the live comments? I don't see it on my phone.
Yeah,
if you click on the right hand side, I got it.
It's all right. I was on private chat side. I clicked on the live comment side. I can now see it all.
Oh, okay. Because I typed it in, and the reason I typed it in once, but we're on Facebook and on YouTube, so it's going out. Yep. Okay, so wait. All of my 900 subscribers on YouTube signed the petition. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Now, and if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, subscribe to the channel. Just saying. You get great videos like this. Just saying.
Loads of knowledge.
Yes, a whole lot of knowledge. A whole lot of knowledge, because I am on YouTube channel, and Nanny Shada is on YouTube. So between our two YouTube pages, and then starting tomorrow, the Nanny Hookup is going to be on the YouTube channel. So we're going to have a lot. Yeah. We're going to be coming at you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm going to be checking.
We are going to get this petition signed. Now we have a comment. Paige says, too many parents think that having a degree, regardless of what it is in, is more important than experience. Very sad. Yes. And I can attest to that because when I became a nanny, I had an early childhood education degree. I would flip that thing out like it was like golden card. Here's my lottery ticket. Give me the job. Show me the money. When I got in the job, I was like, oh my God, this is nothing like the classroom. What did I get myself into? It is a totally different feel working in someone's home than it is being a teacher in a classroom. Your degree will take you only so far. Being a nanny and being a teacher is two different things.
Yeah.
It's like night and day. Taking care of the children, making sure that they are safe. Yeah, some things they cross over, but trust me, night and day. I hung on to my degree, and even though it's early childhood education, and that should be, oh wow, you got this. No, because until you can convert classroom into home life, it's not going to work for you. I've known several teachers that thought, oh, I can be a nanny. I could be a nanny. I could be a nanny. No, you cannot be a nanny because your day does not end from 7 to 3.
No,
And you don't get a lunch break.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to take a break while somebody else is watching those kids.
And a normal day is 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
See.
And then on top of that, you need to then plan for the week ahead. If there's appointments, if there's activities that you're going to do for them, you know, I plan out my week with my boys. So, you know, this week we're learning about space and planets and things like that. So if you're a nanny that does things like that, then when you get home, you're printing things off, you're laminating things, like it doesn't stop, you know. So yeah, and I think the pay scale, definitely, I want to touch back on that. That will help parents to understand what to pay nannies, because some of them generally just don't know.
Right.
So this will really help with like a guideline then for them to look at and know, because I see it a lot on like Mumsnet or online. How much should I pay my nanny? And it's just like, if we had regulation, they wouldn't have to go on public forums and ask questions like that. So sign the petition.
Sign the petition. Now we have a question from Sunshine. She said, I had someone to have me to ask all nannies, which is all of us, if all nannies have to be live-in nannies?
Nope.
Nope.
No. I'm a daily nanny.
I've only been live-in for one time, and that was a very special circumstance, and I really wasn't lived in because I only took care of the kids on the weekend, and it was a trade-off for me living there to take care of the kids so they could have a date night on the weekend. But I had a regular nanny job during the week, so I was their first nanny, and their kids had grown up and moved on, and then I moved into their newly remodeled in-law suite. It was so nice. Sorry, I just had to add that. It was, but all nannies are not live-in nannies. And live-in nannies, live-out nannies, make sure that your parents' accountants do not count you as a live-in nanny if you are a live-out nanny, because there's a totally difference. In some states, there's totally different laws for live-in nannies than there are for live-out nannies. I had a nanny job where their accountant thought they told him I was a nanny. He assumed that I was a live-in nanny, didn't take out the right amount of taxes, and they ended up owing me over $5,000 in overtime. And this was back when I first started nannying. And like I said, what the heck did I get myself into?
Yeah.
I learned over the years. I paid my time. Trust me. Once you know what you're doing and you learn what you're doing and you get a mentor, if you don't know what you're doing, get a mentor to have somebody to teach you what you're doing, what's going on, then you will find out.
Yeah, I wanted to answer that as well in terms of different types of nannies. Depending on where you look, the person that asked that question can always get in contact with me at Nanny Shaws at any on the social platforms. But there's rota nannies, there's live-in nannies, there's live-out nannies, there's travel nannies, there's part-time nannies, there's after-school nannies, there's weekend nannies. So really and truly, you have to find your niche and what works for you. For me, I've tried to do a range over the 14 years. And I think the thing that suits me best is temporary and travel nannying. But like I said, at the moment, I'm in a live-out nanny position. So you need to try, if you're just getting into the industry, try and do a range of different roles so you can find which one you suit best. That's my best advice I would give to that person.
Yeah. And also it's finding the household and the family that you gel with. The first job you take, the first family you go with, not necessarily be the next 5 years. You would know whether you've got the same ideas on, well, you'd like to think you've got this in the interview, that you're on the same wavelength on routine, on discipline, on food, and that you already gel. But sometimes something might sound amazing in the interview, and believe me, I've been there. You take the job and 6 weeks later, what was said at the beginning and what the job turns out to be are two completely different things.
Yes, that's why you add a trial period. You have a trial period. I have a trial period in every last one of my contracts. Before we start on day one, there's a contract in place. Even if we are still negotiating that contract, we know that there's a contract in place. And we know that even though we're negotiating, because I've had families who want to start right away, and I don't have a problem with us starting right away, but know that before the week it has ended, this contract will be signed. We will come to an agreement on it, or else we're going to have to part ways, because I refuse to go into another family, not have a contract, and all of a sudden the rules start changing and the pile-on comes on. And I know you all know what I'm talking about when it starts piling on and piling on. Well, and I'm like, well, I thought we said, no. Remember with the conversation we said, no, I don't think I agreed to that. Well, yeah, that was what I was talking about when I said this. I'm like, well, you were not specific about that. That's why you have a contract, so you can know the specifics of your job. Now, you helping out the family, that's a different thing. Your generosity in helping out and them piling on and expecting it all the time, that's a totally different thing. And make sure that you know the difference. And I hate to say this, but it has to be said, because nobody wants to feel like they're being taken advantage of. And when you hire a nanny, we have many different jobs that come under that role, nanny. And we can help you with a whole lot of things, but additional jobs call for additional monetary value. You wouldn't expect someone on your job, all of a sudden you're doing one job for a whole year, and then all of a sudden here comes another company and okay, you got to take on all these other responsibilities, and you still get paid the same thing. You'd be upset some kind of way. I know you would. We have another question. Jocelyn said, this is so true. And even if you do have a degree and experience, some parents try to have you come up with school style material adapted to a home environment, plus be a nanny, but want to pay you as a sitter. This is true. This is true. I thought
that's why regulation is so important.
That's why it's so important.
And also, I think just going back to additional jobs that you do, you know, it might be at the beginning, you know, I don't mind helping out emptying the dishwasher on a Monday morning. You're doing it because you wanted to clear space, but when it's left for you every Monday morning, have that conversation at the beginning. Don't mind helping out. Don't let it build up. You don't do anything and you continue to do it. And then because it's one little thing, it adds up. Like any little issues and things like that, bring it up at the time as best you can. Don't let it build up and fester, because it can ruin the working relationship. You may or may not realise what they're doing is affecting you that much, but as we know, we work in other people's houses and that's our office effectively. We're the only ones that can go in and out of someone else's house, be trusted with the children and the keys and contents of that entire house. And as we are not regulated, but a lot of us are CRB'd and we are respectable people, without having the regulation, you could be anyone in that house. They're trusting you. You need that regulation to back you up. They are who you say you are. They're not going to run off your keys. They're not going to run a credit card bill in someone else's name. That regulation needs to be there, not just to protect us, but it needs to protect the families and the children we work for.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. I had a parent tell me at an interview, we expect you to take care of our house well, better than you take care of your own. And I was like, okay. And I just laughed and I was like, okay, I have no problem taking care of your house. Better not take care of my own. But I knew then that I would not be taking the job, because if you have to tell me to take care of your house better than I take care of my own, that is like putting shame on me. As if you've been at my house and my house is a mess all the time. And that's just how it made me feel. And what Maria was saying was, it's like you're disrespecting me, and you have that conversation, but I know a lot of nannies are passive aggressive. I'm working on it. And we just let it build and build and build and build. And then one day it gets to here and you just explode. And that's not good and not professional. So have those conversations early and often. Just saying. Now we have a question. How much should we be charging in wording negotiation for parents who only want a part-time position but require social distancing?
You need a bit more
Depends
information.
which country you're in. Yeah, because I think, I mean,
like how much experience do you have?
Yeah.
Yes.
Qualifications. Have you had experience with children before?
Okay.
Those, I think nannies, a lot of nannies ask questions similar to this. And it's kind of like knowing your worth, knowing how much you're worth, knowing what you can bring to the table. And I think it's a discussion. It's all communication with the parents. What is their budget? What are you looking for? You need to have that conversation with them, but make sure that what you're charging is within your rights, and obviously market rate as well. So we couldn't tell you what to charge. You know what I mean?
Make sure it's above, you know, minimum wage or the national living wage, depending on your country. And and also if you go in at a high rate, you might not ever get a pay rise, because if you go in at the top, they might not want to go high. So sometimes it's better to go in a little bit lower. And then in 6 months to a year, ask for a pay rise.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Don't go in at the top level.
There you go.
Better off to be working and make your way up and prove your worth, and demonstrate that by having the job and being in that role, going, oh, I'm not taking that because I only want £55 an hour or $30 an hour. You can be waiting a long time. And especially with what's going on with COVID, there's a lot more nannies and people claiming to be nannies on the market than there are.
And go through a nanny agency.
The question about social distancing, I don't think you can social distance when you're nannying. So I
Yeah.
would be questioning the parents about that question.
Okay. So this was her
social
follow-up.
She's just followed up.
This is her
Oh,
follow-up
okay.
by social distancing, meaning they don't want you to take another job due to COVID outbreaks. Okay, I
I
understand
think you
that.
should be compensated for that because, for instance, your nanny that nannies for one family, but you also do nannying on the side with a few ad hoc families. If you want, then if that your main family want you to not be with your other families, I think you need to be compensated for that because that's your livelihood at the end of the day. I know some people might disagree, but for safety reasons, I personally have decided not to do my ad hoc work outside of nannying because I'm working with one family at a time. But I would want to be compensated in another way, even if it means I can be more flexible with my hours or a pay rise, or, you know, for me, what's worked with me is my nanny family have worked with the hours that I want during this time. So that was a compromise for me, which I was very happy to do. But I think if you're going to ask other people to change kind of routine that they're used to in order to stay with just your family, then the parents should be definitely willing to compromise with other areas of the role.
Now, I know there's a part of the federal, I think it's the FSLA, the Federal Standard Labor Act. I think that's the name of it. But that's here in the United States, that says that if you are on call, if you are waiting to work, people expect you to be there waiting to work at a certain time, that you're supposed to get paid for that time because technically you can't be anywhere else. So if you don't want me to be anywhere else, then you need to pay me for my time for being available to you.
I think over here,
yeah.
I think here it's classed as a retention payment almost.
Right.
Make sure you're available for them hours if you're needed.
Right. And that goes to daycares too.
Yeah, I know in NCS it works like that. If a mum is due on a certain date and they want to book you from that date, then they pay half your daily your 24-hour rate, or depending if you're on a night or a day or 24-hour, they pay half of it to keep you on a retainer.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a different matter.
I charge a deposit. Because I know babies come when they want to.
It's my dog.
Ali's dog.
The dog signed the petition, Ali.
Yeah.
He's trying to sign the petition. Come on, y'all. Y'all hear me? But it's a retainer of if you want me to social distance. I've even had friends of mine who are newborn care specialists. Parents wanted them to come and work for them, but they wanted them to be on a social distance, quarantine for 2 weeks before they start working. Well, they're paying for the quarantine. If I got to be at home and I can't go make any other money, I got to eat for those 2 weeks. I can't just sit here and look pretty and then you decide that you don't want me at the last minute. No, you're going to pay me for these 2 weeks. And then if you decide you don't want me, well, I have gotten my money. I have waited for you. I am on your dime right now because I am quarantining myself for you. You don't want me? I can put it out there. Okay, I have been on quarantine for the last 2 weeks. Who wants me? You back out on the market. So to ask that question for them to be on quarantine and for you to want me to wait and be on social distancing, and then you're going to wait for 2 weeks, then yeah, I would say, yeah, no, that's not going to work with me unless you're paying me. Because
same.
I like to eat. If you can't tell, I like to eat. But anyway, we want you all to sign the petition so that it can get into the right hands And so it can not only just be thought about, we might think about that maybe next week. No, we want them to not make to get on the ball, making action happen, not just in the thought process, but it's going past the thought process and on into in the works. So 10,000 is wonderful. 100,000.
You can share it. If they sign it, share it. If you don't want to sign it, if you're a nanny, you don't want to sign it, I don't understand. But share it if you can. That's your part in supporting the campaign. Share it to as many people as possible. And make sure, guys, if you do sign it, make sure you check your emails so you can confirm your signature. Because if you don't do that, then the signature doesn't go on. Okay?
And all you need is a valid email address. It doesn't matter where you are, you just need a valid email address that you've confirmed once they've sent you that email, like Shada said, and as your part for the community, and share away.
And you don't have to pay
and you don't have to be a nanny to sign.
And you don't have to be a
nanny to sign because I've sending it. Yes, it's free. I sent it to all my uncles, my aunties, my cousins, everyone, and they've all signed. So you guys can do the same as well.
Yeah, take it to the family reunion. Serious. Okay, here's my
Brown, you don't have to donate any money at all. We're not asking for any donations. It comes up that you can donate, but we don't get the money and we don't ask you to donate. We just need your signature. Your signature and sharing is worth more than money.
Y'all heard it straight from the creator's mouth. They don't need your money, just want your signature. And you can go and make up. Do you know how many emails you can? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 7 emails. 2 that I use regularly. 1 is for my bill account. 1 is for my my social media account. 1 is hooked to my website. And the rest of them is like, okay, so which junk mail do I want to send them to this time? Use one of your junk mail emails. Just go back and check it, confirm, and go on. Nobody will ever know. Just saying. I'll create one that you want to use for that one time. Nobody will ever know. They just need you to verify it's a valid email.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And keep just checking the website. We'll keep updating you as and when we can, as I'm sure Alan and Shada will too. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. I think I've covered all of them. I'm not sure. We're out there. We're trying to share it all away for you.
Else. Twitter, tweet it, LinkedIn it, Instagram it, Facebook it, YouTube it. What else? TikTok it.
We haven't tried that one.
Maybe that's the new thing for us to try.
Hey, TikTok. Shada, TikTok. I don't know how to do that. That's why I'm passing it on. I don't. I'm still trying to figure out how to move pictures from my Google Photos storage to my Google Drive. So y'all know I'm not the one for TikTok. I can't even figure that simple solution out.
I'm trying to work out Facebook.
Okay. We have a couple more comments. So this question is in light of COVID-19 outbreak and dynamics it's presented in the industry. Okay, so wait a minute, hold on, let me read the comment before it. By social distancing, meaning they don't want you to take another job due to COVID-19 outbreaks. So this question is already COVID-19 outbreak and dynamics is presented in the industry. I think we already answered that. And then she says, amen to that. Amen to what you said about starting at the high end salary-wise. Cool. Jocelyn said, I hear you. So this is assuming you are typically a full-time nanny who doesn't typically do side babysitting, but part-time work is the only job available right now, but you obviously need work, but they would rather you not work for others. So in this case, it's wise to negotiate pay raise compensation. Okay. And then she says, thank you, ladies. Paige says, my current family, who are awesome, requested that my husband abide by social distancing as well. I am not at home to know what he is doing, so the request seems odd. Well, Paige, my husband I required my husband to do the same thing. And it wasn't their request, it was me, because I work with brand new babies. And when you're working with brand new babies, I come home to my husband. Now, he stopped traveling a long time ago and going different places. We both social distance from other people. We go to the store, we wear our gloves, we wear our masks, stay 6 feet apart, and all that good stuff. But I asked him to do that because I don't want me to get sick from him, and I don't want the babies to get from me. So I understand why they asked that. I understand when you said you're not at home to regulate your husband, and I didn't quote unquote regulate him either. I just asked him, I said, I work with newborns. Can you please do this for me? And he agreed. He said, I'm older than you. I don't want to get sick. Shoot, I'm the first one. I'm the first one to look at like, okay, are you sick? So he was like, I don't want to get sick from nobody either, because my husband is 65 years old. So he's considered on the high risk list. So he has been social distancing so I can effectively go and take care of the babies that I'm taking care of. But I understand what you're saying, Paige.
What she could do is maybe work out a timetable where she could self-isolate for a certain amount of time and then dedicate time to each family and try and coordinate it that way. That way you're giving fair share to each family that you work for. So maybe, self-isolate for 7 days, and I don't know, just an idea.
Good idea.
And also, I think if your family that you work for is asking you to self-isolate and make sure your husband's self-isolating, it goes for that family as well. There are plenty of nannies who have been asked to make sure they are not socializing, and they go away on Friday and come back on Monday, and they found out their families have been socializing with other people when they've been told not to socialize. And I think that's a big thing. I think is if we all agree that we don't do it, the families that we work for, we're putting our trust in that they're not doing it either. Because if they're going out, that's not fair on the nanny or her husband to stay in.
Right. Because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick from them and bring it home to my husband. Or bring it home to my children or whoever is at home with me. I don't want to have to isolate myself because you all didn't isolate yourselves. That to me, and this is just my thoughts, because I think kind of outside of the box to everybody else, if you're not going to isolate, but you ask me to isolate, you need to pay me some hazard pay. Because you are putting my life in danger. And it's not just, okay, well, the ball may fall and hit your toe type thing. No, people are dying. It's not okay. So the family that I work for, they are social distancing. And as a matter of fact, mom is a nurse practitioner. So she has been isolated, but she's been home on maternity leave since before COVID started because she had a set of twins. So I know where she's been at home. So I know I can trust that she's been at home. And I know where my husband's been at home. So, and I only go to the store when necessary. I'm not at the store every day, every hour of the day like I used to be.
Do nannies have insurance in the US, Angela?
No, we're not regular. We don't have to have insurance. Now, as an NCS, I have insurance.
Wow.
I bought insurance myself
And it's
for
very
my business.
expensive over there. Our nannies moan at how much nanny insurance. Our nannies moan about how much nanny insurance is in the UK, which averages out at about £100, which is about $126 maybe per year. I know that there was one company and it was well over $500 to have nanny insurance, if not up to the thousands.
Wow.
And I'm sure your Angela's is pretty expensive as well. So nannies in the UK, you get a pretty good deal when you work in the UK. But it's mainly because we don't have to pay for our health service.
Right.
Yes.
We have to pay for our health insurance. And then not only pay for the health insurance, because the health insurance, they find loopholes. You pay 80% and then you pay 20. They pay 80% and you pay 20%. But you have to meet your deductible first before we will pay that 80%. And then you still got to pay the 20%. And then some doctor's visits are not covered in the insurance. And then you have to get a recommendation, wait forever to get a recommendation to go to a specialist. And then they only cover a certain percentage of the specialist. So then you still got to come out of pocket after paying insurance and paying the doctor and trying to meet that deductible. And then let's not even talk about prescriptions. I have a prescription for my eye. I get 0.04 ounces of drops for my eye. This medicine costs $295 for my eye.
And UK nannies are complaining, guys. Seriously, go get your insurance.
and the insurance only covers half of it. So that means that I've got to come up, and it's supposed to last 30 days. I want you to know that I make sure that I got this little dropper directly over my eye, and I use one drop like I'm supposed to, so it can last that 30 days. And this is to keep me from going blind. So I'm just saying, get the insurance, sign the petition.
Also, with the insurance here, a lot of them you get extra benefits. So some of them give you discounts on attractions across the UK. Some of them give you discount on car insurance. Some of them give you discount on courses and online courses or reduced courses. So it's an investment into you. It makes you look professional, like the professional we are all trying to be and raise the industry. It protects you, but it gives you a few perks as well. So £100 a year, it'd be silly not to.
Exactly.
And there's some that are less than that, because I got more to Mitchell, and I don't think I pay £100 a year.
No, it depends. The basic is 67, and then you can have your add-ons, and that. And as Maria says, you get we're lucky in the UK with the insurance policy, but make sure you've got insurance if you can. And that's what we're trying to advocate. We're advocating nannies to be the professionals that they are.
Yes. Get the insurance. Have the assurance that your insurance is going to kick in when everything else fails. Sign the petition.
And you can also get legal advice. You get free legal advice as well. So if you're having any complications with your nanny family, you can always get legal advice as well.
See, y'all gonna make me come to the UK for a minute.
Angela, when's your flight? What was it? When they open the airport again?
Y'all gonna make me come. But the thing about it is, I don't know if my eye can take that long flight, but I'm sure gonna try, because I have high pressures in my eye, and that's what the drops are for. My pressures are twice the amount that they're supposed to be, almost 3 times. It's supposed to be between 10 and 15, and mine is at 32. So it's almost twice is 2 to 3 times what it's supposed to be. And that's why I put the drops in there, and it drops down to like 20. When it's at 20, I'm like, okay, you can fly. Go, run, soar with the wind.
Well, you can take the boat from New York. You can take the boat from New York.
Yeah, I'll get to New York. I'll take. I'll do it. I'll take 2 or 3 days to get there. I'll fly to New York and then stay overnight, chill out, calm my eye down, and then take the rest of the flight over. Because I'm way down here in Texas, and a flight to New York is going to be like 4 or 5 hours for me to start out with. But like I said, sign the petition. First of all, it is for your own benefits. It is for your protection. It is for your professionalism. Take pride in what you do.
Yeah.
I like that.
And who knows, yes, it is in the UK. If we can set a standard in the UK, there's nothing stopping us making this go worldwide. How amazing would it be if it could be internationally recognised wherever you are? And it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Every nanny in their profession, wherever they are, to be recognised and say, I'm a nanny and I'm a professional. And I deserve to be treated as a professional because I am one.
Right. And those of you families who have nannies, your nanny is a professional. And acts like, well, should I say, your nanny should act like that she's a professional. I want all of us as a sisterhood to band together. The village come together. Nanny Village Unite. That's a hashtag of mine. Nanny Village Unite. This is something that we need to unite on because it starts in one country. It's kind of like this pandemic that started in one country and kind of floated all the way around the world. Let's make it a pandemic. It starts in the UK and it floats all the way around the world.
We spread it.
We'll spread it all around the world.
Maria,
Now,
did you have interest from India?
Yes, we did. We have had interest from the Indian Nanny Association as well. So we're getting there. It takes time, but we are getting there.
Okay, so you know the key. My mama taught me the key to being to getting attention is to become a rattling wheel. I'm so serious. I am so serious. I had some issues with starting a home daycare, and my neighbors threatened me, and they did all they could to get me to stop. And I had something for them at every turn. I called the newspaper, I called the social services, I called the city officials, I went to the city council meetings. I did it all. I even had my parents to bring their children to the city council meeting because they told me, oh, well, your kids can't get out of the house if it's a fire. Well, I kind of broke a couple of laws. I bought a smoke detector in. And I set it off. My kids jumped up, ran to the wall, held hands, and said, "We're ready." And we walked on out the door. So, and the fireman followed me and said, "Don't do that again, but I like your style." I said, "Okay." So sometimes you have to become a rattling wheel to get the attention. And guess what? I won.
Yeah.
So I'm not unfamiliar with fighting for what I want.
Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not unfamiliar in the battleground. It's just how I fight. I'm not a violent fighter. I am a smart fighter. I work hard. I work smart, not hard. I fight smart, not hard. You don't have to be violent to fight. You don't have to. It's a sneak attack. They don't even see it coming because they didn't see that part. They didn't see my smoke detector in my pocket. I just took it out, turned around, and my kids saw me. I pushed the button and went beep, 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 and I turned it back off. The kids ran to the wall, and we went out. I made my point in front of the whole city council. You gonna tell me my kids don't know what to do in a fire? We are required by law to do fire drills. How many nannies have done a fire drill with their kids?
Yeah.
How many kids
and how many
know?
have got working smoke alarms in their premises?
Yes. How many kids know what a smoke alarm sounds like? Mine do.
You can't ignore it.
What's that noise? Why is it going off? No, this is what this noise sounds like, and this is why we do it. When this goes off, it is a serious matter. Every month, we had in my home daycare, we had a fire drill. Every month, even when they came to inspect my home, they did a fire drill once a quarter. I had to have records of it, and they would do it to make sure that the kids knew what to do.
And also, as nannies, you need to know what to do.
Yes, as nannies, you need to know what to
is.
do. You need to have a evacuation plan and ask about the evacuation plan in your interview. Because if they don't know and they have no clue, but they expect you to know, then you all need to get on the same page. Now, I'm stepping off my soapbox now. We have been on here for an hour. I know y'all trying to listen to me now, but sign the petition. I'm so serious. Sign the petition. Make this go pandemic. I guess that's the word of the last 2 months. We want this to have the same effect as the pandemic. Go around the world. You know that saying, that shot that was heard around the world? We want this petition to be signed around the world. I'm just saying, just giving y'all some ideas, that's all.
Well,
and as we always say, together we're stronger.
That's right. One of my good friends, Anita, says, Nanny, hashtag Nanny Strong.
Yeah.
I love her. But thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you, Angela, for
thank you all for watching. Those of you who are on YouTube, please go by and subscribe. Ask the Nanny. YouTube.com, Ask the Nanny. Subscribe. Like some of my things while you're there. Watch some movies. Watch some of the videos. Ask the Nanny is not the only thing that's on there. You might find a good recipe or two.
Oh, Angela's recipes are fab.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
And they have got an international reach.
That's my other passion. I love cooking. I was cooking, I'm making jam now. Cause my company, This Jam Good, has been out of commission since this pandemic started. And on June 1st, we open back up and we have 5 new flavors already. I've been working here. That's why you haven't seen me cooking this week, because I'm cooking behind the scenes. But like I said, thank you, ladies, for coming. Thank you for.
Linda's just asked for the link again on Facebook.
Okay, we need the link again. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me get back over here to. Let's see. We got www.uknanny.com.
.org.
.org. Don't let me write this. .org. // nanny.
Nannies hyphen matter.
Nannies hyphen. See, I need to just go back and copy and paste.
So if you type in Nanny Campaign, if you type in Nanny Campaign or UK Nannies Matter Petition, it will come up. We are, at the moment, we're the only one that comes up. We're at the top. We're there.
Okay.
If you can't
put it in there.
uknanny.org and click on campaigns, and you'll find the rest of the links on there. Just
go to UK Nannies. All of it's there. Go search the website, UK Nannies. But I did put it up there. It is www.uknanny.org/nannies-matter.
Yeah.
And Linda put it up there too. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, you all have a great, blessed week. And next Monday, we are going to have a nanny on. I'm going around the world, y'all, from Africa. She's from Lagos, Africa. She has a nanny training school there. And she's going to be on with me Monday at 2:30. So be sure to spread the word. Ask the Nanny is going to be on at 2:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time next Monday. Well, won't be on at 7. We'll be on at 2:30. So you might have to watch the replay. So if you're watching this now and you're watching the replay, spread the word. Go by, like our page, like the UK Nannies page. Just saying, support your fellow sisters. Whether they are here in the US, whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Switzerland, whether you're in New Zealand, and in Zurich, or whatever country you are in, support your nanny sisters. And join our group, Nanny Sisters Around the World. It's a Facebook group. It's called Nanny Sisters Around the World. There are nannies there from several different countries, and we want to expand. We keep growing day by day. 1 or 2 people, oh, I found your group. Yes, join us, because just like this UK Nannies Matter campaign, we're all there for each other. It's not a selfish thing, because if something happened to us, we would want them to have our backs. So let's have their backs too. Now, I'm going to stop talking now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Shana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.